So when my parents first moved in together, my mom had a cat named Pagan. The reason the cat was named Pig is when she got it, she was actually hiding someone from the motorcycle gang of the same name. Now, in my mom's words, the moment they moved in together, my dad killed her cat. In my dad's words, he was giving the cat courage lessons. You see, this was a pampered indoor cat, and my dad grew up in this rough and tumble Scotch Indian family where children, dogs, cats, they were all outdoors, and so he wanted to teach the cat how to be an outdoor cat, putting him up in trees and throwing him out into snow, and it was a bit too much for Pagan, and he had a nervous breakdown, and, well, he died. Then came along me and my brother, and my dad decided, well, of course, we need courage lessons too. Where we got our courage lessons was a campground called Indian Flats. It's a campground up in the Cleveland National Forest, the headwaters of the San Luis Rey River. Now, from the very beginning of the trip, you need courage. This is a 5-mile dirt road through the mountains and cliffs that is 1 lane wide, that if another car is coming the other way, you are forced to back up and find just some little outlet so you can get through. And on top of that, it's the center of a butterfly migration route, which means by the end of the trip, you are covered head to toe, the entire car, your entire body, in butterflies. It's kind of gross. So you get there, and we set up in this old, dilapidated World War II vintage gear with a Coleman stove that worked maybe half the time, and giant knives in case, I don't know, dragon attacks or something. Covered in poisonous bugs. My uncle got attacked by a centipede, and just all sorts of things. But the main reason we went there was to see the river. These were just giant boulders, and when the snow melted and the water came down, it would just create these beautiful caves of waterfalls and things like that, and coincidentally death traps. So we would go to these, and we were a little kid, and Dad would say, "Oh no, we don't need shoes for this." So we'd go up, and we'd fall down onto ravines, and we'd be forced to climb up cliffs, and I'd be crying, going, "I don't want to do this, Come on, it's not a big deal, Sam, you can do this. Just climb the cliff. So when we get upriver, you get to a point where there'd be sharp rocks, so sharp that when you put your hands on it, you'd start bleeding. We knew this, but for some reason, every time one person would try to climb it, we'd leave this little blood sacrifice all over the top of this rock. And as we'd go down, all there would be were these frogs everywhere underfoot, and you just crying and bleeding and trying to get through all these things. And you'd come back to the camp, and you'd say, "All right, it's time to get some sleep. Where's the tents?" "No tents." "What? We don't need tents." But it's cold. We don't need tents. So we got a tarp. All of us slept together on the tarp, just every so often waking up with a giant bug just kind of sitting on your face and wondering what the hell was biting you right now, and just praying that centipede wasn't in your shoe again. And we'd get up the next day and keep going through the river and trying not to get killed. This is the place I learned that horned lizards actually do shoot blood out of their eyes into your face if you touch them. So when I was about, 12, we went back there, and we found out it was closed because those little frogs that were everywhere were this endangered species called the Pacific tree frog, that when we go camping there, it was their breeding season, and, well, we might step on them. I did it. I survived my courage lessons. My brother and I, we did it. 5 years of this, and we survived it. In my mind, if we had gone maybe 2 more years, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be up in the mountains fucking Sasquatches and eating mountain lions. That's the kind of place this turned you into. Nowadays, wherever I go, into a strange place or meeting a strange person, you get that little trepidation of fear. And I close my eyes, and I remember a little kid standing there climbing a cliff with my dad just standing at the bottom going, I think you can do this. Just do this and this and this, and you're fine. I've got no idea what you're telling me. Just this, and this. And I remember that. I entered the door, and I remember I got my courage lessons.